Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sanford Kahn here, business author and speaker. Welcome to this kind of unique YouTube video called Does God Bless America? If you get something from this video, and I hope you do, it is going to be different, very different. Appreciate if you could subscribe to my channel, YouTube channel. Hit the like symbol if you liked it, and definitely leave a comment. Anyways, the title is Does God Bless America? When we were kids growing up in elementary school, we had music teachers. I don't know if they have that anymore. Once a week, a music teacher would come in, and also we had an art teacher. I think they have long since disappeared from the public school system in most schools. But in the music teacher, we would sing patriotic songs like Does God Bless America? I don't know if God blesses America. I'm not in contact with the Supreme Being. But I do feel strongly, whether God blesses America or not, God, the Supreme Being, will not save us from our own folly. Will not save us from our own folly. We're going down the road that republics throughout history have gone down. And the end of republics, or the great, as Wendell Phillips put it, the great slayer of all republics in history is debt, namely the carrying cost of that debt, which is the interest burden. And that is happening now to the United States, where the can, the can no longer be kicked down the road. Let me give you an example, okay? In the third quarter of last year, that would be 2023, the net interest expense on the federal debt was less than the defense budget and less than Medicare and Medicaid. By the end of the first quarter of this year, which is 2024, the net interest expense of the United States has gone past the defense budget, has gone past Medicare as line items, and has gone past Medicaid. The interest on the federal debt is going up exponentially, or geometrically, which means at an increasing rate. I just did a crude illustration of what's happening. The revenue to government, which is the red line, is sort of flat to maybe sloping a little bit upward, while the interest expense, that's the green line, is going up geometrically at an increasing rate. Now, this does not imply that the interest expense right now is greater than the revenue to government. It just shows, relatively speaking, how they're going, what the trend is, okay? One is flat to a little bit up. The other is geometric. Geometric, as I said, means at an increasing rate. Example, in the first 11 months of fiscal 2024, that's through August, fiscal 2024 ends September 30th of 2024. So the first 11 months of fiscal 24 through August, the interest expense on the federal debt grew at 35% over the preceding year. That's the fastest growing line item in the budget of the United States. So the interest expense on the federal debt is now 15% of the budget throughout history, according to Wendell Phillips. When the interest expense on any country starts approaching 15% plus, that country is in trouble, unless they start to get their economic house in order. By the end of 2025, early 2026, if nothing is done, even if the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, we're still adding to the debt of $2 trillion a year. In last year, 2023, $2 trillion. This year, 2024, $2 trillion. Next year, 2025, $2 trillion. Actually, it could be more than $2 trillion if the economy slows down and go into even a garden variety recession, which I don't think the next recession is going to be garden variety, but who knows? That's something for another video. The interest expense will probably be approaching the biggest item in the federal budget, which is Social Security. If nothing is done, lenders are not going to keep lending us money at these low interest rates, relatively low interest rates. All it takes is one failed auction, treasury auction, to panic the market. And once the market panics, interest rates will just shoot up because our credibility as a country will be going into the toilet. Credibility as far as repayment of our debt goes. We are going down the same path as all republics in history, according to Wendell Phillips. And God will not save us from our own folly. We have to get our economic house in order. And politicians of both parties right now are neglecting this problem because nobody really wants to face it, but they're going to have to face it. Whatever the solution is, it has to be bipartisan, and you're going to have to go after the entitlement programs, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and the transfer programs. They are eating up the federal budget at an increasing rate. And that's why you have huge deficits. And when you go after these programs to ensure our economic stability, and we don't have this problem again, the dollar, this is the dollar, says Federal Reserve note. It's a fiat currency. It's just backed by the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. No, that's not right. It's backed by the full faith and credit of American politicians, which will probably give you some cause for alarm. We have to return to a dollar that's linked to the earth by gold. It is the final restraint on politicians. No constitutional amendment, no law, because politicians and their infinite wisdom will always get around it. But if you link the dollar to gold and tie it to the earth, it's tied to the earth, that'll put a restraint on federal spending and also on the size of government. Government has limits, should have limits. People have limits, government should have limits. Anyways, I spoke long enough. I think you got my drift. Yeah. I don't want to see this constitutional republic fail, but it will fail if we don't resolve our problem. And you can't keep kicking this can down the road. It's over. The game's over. All games come to an end. This game is coming to its end. Anyways, appreciate it. If you could subscribe to my channel, hit the like symbol if you liked the video, and definitely leave me a comment. It was not easy for me to make this video, but I think it needed to be made. I'll see you again, okay? Bye now.